Salute, salute, salute. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. They caught him. You know what I'm saying? Official press conference underway, guys. They most definitely caught the person responsible for taking out Charlie Kirk, guys. Shout out to everybody in the building. Y'all know I got to get this right. I'm somewhat of a perfectionist. I got to make sure everything lined up like it's supposed to. Give me half a second, guys. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. They most definitely caught this guy, y'all. They caught him. I'm gonna give y'all his father turned him in, y'all. His father turned him in. His own dad, guys, most definitely turned this guy in. See how we looking over here. Hold on, you know what I'm saying? We most definitely finna get to it. We most definitely finna get to it, y'all. I gotta get my camera set up. Hold up. Man, that's a cold lick. His own dad turned him in. Do we think the dad's supposed to get the turn-in money, guys? No, there was a substantial reward for the capture of this guy. And his dad turned him in. Does the daddy deserve the money, y'all? In y'all opinion, what y'all think? Hold on while I get this going. Let's see.
10 a.m. on the East Coast and 7 a.m. on the West Coast. It did appear that they were waiting until the top of the hour for everyone to come out. At this point, that has not happened just yet, but we are moments away, we're told. There was a spokesperson who walked up maybe 6-8 minutes ago and said that we were 4 minutes away from this getting underway. And we do have this and several other angles you can see right here on your screen.
Dang, hold on.
As this one's a little bit farther out, but not quite sure if it's on the same timeline or if maybe one of them's on a delay. However, we're going to take this image right here because it is closer to the podium and you can see a little bit more. As we saw one of the cameras pan over to the left, we can see some of the folks that are with law enforcement. They are standing in there and essentially just waiting to walk up. That is the spokesperson there who we heard from earlier who just walked by on the screen, walking over to the right and sitting down to indicate there that this is likely to begin here shortly. There she is, walking back over to the left.
Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Get those likes up. Double tap that screen. They caught him, guys. They most definitely caught the guy responsible.
And I am repeating myself quite a bit here as we wait for this news conference to get underway. I just want to make sure if you're just turning this on, because we can see our viewer count there on the bottom left-hand side of your screen. And as the number goes up, we know that people are tuning in. We want to make sure they know that President Trump and now the FBI Director, Kash Patel, have announced that an arrest has been made in connection with the assassination, the murder there of Charlie Kirk, a very well-known conservative activist. This all happening just under 48 hours ago. This was around 12 o'clock-ish local time. Over on Wednesday at Utah Valley University, as we know that Charlie Kirk was speaking to that crowd, estimated to be about 3,000 people. As of right now, the Associated Press, Reuters, Fox News are all reporting via sources that the suspect has been identified as 22-year-old Tyler Robinson. No other details released, and that's likely one of the pieces of information we're going to get here from authorities as they take the podium. Again, the Utah Department of Public Safety, the FBI, Kash Patel could be there like he was last night. We could get comments from him. We already heard from President Trump a bit earlier as he was speaking to Fox News. We played that for you here. As he did make the announcement saying that he was alerted that an arrest had been made about 5 minutes before he went on set for that pre-planned interview.
They got him, guys.
For a while. Here we go. Let's lift up the audio.
Let's go.
Gentlemen, at today's press conference, we will hear from Governor Cox, FBI Director Kash Patel, and Sheriff Mike Smith. We also have with us Utah DPS Commissioner Bill Mason.
Y'all get those likes up. Double tap that screen. Get the likes up, guys.
And local and federal law enforcement partners. Following the remarks today, Governor Cox, Director Patel, and Commissioner Mason will take questions. Thank you.
Turned in by his own father, guys.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We got him.
They got
On
him.
the evening of September 11th, a family member of Tyler Robinson reached out to a family friend who contacted the Washington County Sheriff's Office with information that Robinson had confessed to them or implied that he had committed the incident. This information was relayed to the Utah County Sheriff's Office and scene investigators at Utah Valley University. This information was also conveyed to the FBI. Investigators reviewed additional video footage from UVU surveillance and identified Robinson arriving on UVU campus in a gray Dodge Challenger at approximately 8:29 a.m. on September 10th, in which he is observed on video in a plain maroon t-shirt, light-colored shorts, a black hat with a white logo, and light-colored shoes. When encountered in person by investigators in Washington County on September 12th in the early morning hours, Robinson was observed in consistent clothing with those surveillance images. Investigators interviewed a family member of Robinson who stated that Robinson had become more political in recent years. The family member referenced a recent incident in which Robinson came to dinner prior to September 10th, and in the conversation with another family member, Robinson mentioned Charlie Kirk was coming to UVU. They talked about why they didn't like him and the viewpoints that he had. The family member also stated Kirk was full of hate and spreading hate.
Wow.
The family member also confirmed Robinson had a gray Dodge Challenger.
Which was the father, guys.
Investigators identified an individual as the roommate of Robinson. Investigators interviewed that roommate, who stated that his roommate, referring to Robinson, made a joke on Discord. Investigators asked if he would show them the messages on Discord. He opened it and showed several messages to investigators and allowed investigators to take photos of the screen as each message was shown by Robinson's roommate. These photos consisted of various messages, including content of messages between the phone contact named Tyler with an emoji icon and Robinson's roommate's device. The content of these messages included messages affiliated with the contact Tyler, stating a need to retrieve a rifle from a drop point, leaving the rifle in a bush, messages related to visually watching the area where a rifle was left, and a message referring to having left the rifle wrapped in a towel. The messages also refer to engraving bullets and a mention of a scope and the rifle being unique.
All right, so it says suspect is 22-year-old Tyler Robinson. Robinson was taken into custody in St. George, Utah, about 4 hours from the site of the shooting. It says President Trump first revealed that the arrest of the suspect, saying someone familiar with the suspect contacted authorities, which was his father, guys. Y'all double tap that screen, get the likes up. This is the official press conference. Make sure you click those three dots, hit that thumbs up. It helps out the channel, and subscribe if you are new, guys. Get those likes up.
Last night consists of a grassy area with trees on the edge of the UVU campus. Investigators discovered a bolt-action rifle wrapped in a dark-colored towel. The rifle was determined to be a Mauser Model 98 .30-6 caliber bolt-action rifle. The rifle had a scope mounted on top of it. Investigators noted inscriptions that had been engraved on casings found with the rifle. Inscriptions on a fired casing read, "Notices bulges, capital OWO, what's this, question mark." Inscriptions on the three unfired casings read, "Hey fascist, exclamation point, catch, exclamation point." Up arrow symbol, right arrow, and symbol, and three down arrow symbols. A second unfired casing read, "Oh Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Chow Chow." And a third unfired casing read, "If you read this, you are gay, LMAO."
Wow.
We are indebted to law enforcement across the state who's worked seamlessly together, local law enforcement, state law enforcement, and our federal partners with the Federal Bureau of Investigation. We're grateful for everyone who worked together in such a short amount of time to find this person and to bring justice. I want to thank the public who has been so engaged, reviewing videos, helping us with sending in tips, and helping us get to this point. I want to thank the family members of Tyler Robinson who did the right thing in this case and were able to bring him into to law enforcement as well. I especially want to thank the family of Charlie Kirk, Erica, Charlie's parents, his children. I want us to be thinking of them as we bring justice in this case. They will be involved in that justice. We will be working very closely with them as we move through this process as well. This is a very sad day for our country, a terrible day for the state of Utah, but I'm grateful that at this moment we have an opportunity to bring closure to this very dark chapter in our nation's history. With that, I will now turn the microphone over to the Director of the FBI, Kash Patel.
Thank you, Governor. This is what happens when you let good cops be cops. The FBI and our partners are proud to stand here today together to bring justice to the family of Charlie Kirk and honor his memory. I want to express my deep gratitude to President Trump, the Vice President, and the entire White House who have been so incredibly supportive with both resources and just personally to the FBI as a team. They had our backs the entire way, and I just want to express my gratitude for giving us the resources we need to operate in this space to bring this sort of justice at this sort of speed. In 33 hours, we have made historic progress for Charlie. Governor Cox, our partnership has been absolutely incredible these last few days. Our partnership will endure. Your state and local partners, your sheriffs, your DPS community has been unbelievably impressive in the hardest of times. And a case like this cannot be solved, cannot be brought without partnering with your state and local authorities. The FBI has a certain role to play, and we will play that role, and we will lead out for the federal government. But Governor Cox, we are so grateful for your state partnership that led out on this investigation. A little bit of the timeline. Charlie was shot at 12:23 p.m. on Wednesday. The first FBI agents arrived on scene in 16 minutes with chiefs of police at 12:39.
Y'all make sure y'all double tapping that screen, guys. Get the likes up past 100. It's easy. All you got to do is click those three dots, hit that thumbs up. Yeah, they have said that 22-year-old Tyler Robinson was turned in by his father, guys, to the authorities for the unaliving of Charlie Kirk, guys.
And secured the scene. The FBI immediately launched fixed-wing assets. We utilized these assets to transport personnel, specialty technicians, hostage rescue teams. We also utilize these assets to go back and forth from the East Coast and here in Utah to transport forensic evidence and other evidence that will be analyzed and is being analyzed at our FBI laboratories in Quantico and other laboratories, including the ATF. At my direction, the FBI released the first set of FBI photos of the suspect at 10 a.m. local time on 9/11. Then, shortly thereafter, the FBI reward of $100,000 was released at 10:45 a.m. local. Myself and Deputy Director Bongino arrived on the scene at approximately 5:30 p.m. on 9/11. The governor led a press conference last night at approximately 8 p.m., where at my direction, the FBI released a never-before-seen video of the suspect. We also released new images to the public of the suspect. And just last night, the suspect was taken into custody at 10 p.m. local time. In less than 36 hours, 33 to be precise, thanks to the full weight of the federal government and leading out with the partners here in the state of Utah and Governor Cox, the suspect was apprehended in a historic time period. And I want to highlight what Governor Cox said. This would not have been possible without you, the media, and you, the public. That's why we went so public, so fast, and we're so transparent, and we're committed to that transparency. The crime scene, just a little bit there. It is a large crime scene. State and local authorities, along with federal authorities, process that crime scene quickly. And I even had the ability to walk through that crime scene and walk through the steps the suspect took to learn more about what was needed and what resources we needed to bear to create a full picture for the FBI and leadership back in Washington. Furthermore, thankfully to state and local partners, forensic evidence has been seized and continues to be garnered. Forensic evidence has already been evaluated at FBI laboratories in Quantico and state and local authorities here. We will continue to process evidence as we see it, as we collect it, and we will continue to deliver to Governor Cox and his team. Last night, we had a total of approximately 7,000 leads. As of this morning, thanks to your great work,
7,000 leads,
we have over 11,000 leads that were called in to the FBI.
11,000,
And we are
wow.
running out every single lead that we can. Every one of those leads will be run out. The arrest is a testament to dedication of good law enforcement being great and partnerships in law enforcement, which I've tried to highlight as my tenure as the director of the FBI. There is no better relationship for law enforcement than the FBI to partner with state and local authorities, and you've seen it here in these last few days. The FBI Salt Lake Field Office, along with our offices in LA, Phoenix, Denver, San Antonio, Las Vegas, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, our headquarters component in Quantico, all participate in the FBI. I want to express my deep gratitude to the employees of the FBI, the men and women, the evidence response team tacticians, the special operators, the agents, the support staff. You have done monumental work in historic time when the public, who had a right to demand such an expeditious solving of an investigation, the FBI answered that call diligently, critically important to our nation, and we delivered. And I'm proud to be their leader.
The
I'm proud to
father
be the director of
delivered.
the
He
FBI.
turned his son into y'all.
This is a very much an ongoing investigation, as the governor said, and we will continue to work with state and local authorities to develop the investigation, to provide them the evidence they need for their ongoing prosecutions. And we will be here to answer every call they absolutely have, as long as it takes, for as long as we need to find and apprehend whatever suspects were involved in this crime. Lastly, to my friend Charlie Kirk, rest now, brother. We have the watch, and I'll see you in Valhalla.
Thank you, and good morning. I would just like to take a few minutes as the sheriff to express my gratitude for everybody who has played a part in this investigation. As you know, it's been a vast, a complicated.
Continue to click those 3 dots, guys. Hit that thumbs up. Let's get the likes up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. They have found the unaliver of Charlie Kirk, guys. 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, who was turned in by his father.
Impressive, speaking on behalf of the local law enforcement, to see the cooperation that we've seen in this type of case. Across the state, sheriffs, chiefs, our state partners have stepped up and have come to the call on anything that we needed. Our county chiefs have been phenomenal. Our Utah County Attorney, Jeff Gray, who's standing up here with us, has been phenomenal in leading us through this investigation. I would like to thank the federal government for their resources, their assets. Our local team here, our FBI team, has been extraordinary in helping us work through this and bring this person to justice. Most of all, I would like to thank the public, and specifically, I would like to thank the public who turned to prayers and who turned to positiveness for us. I would like to thank them on behalf of the law enforcement community, because we needed those prayers. That's what we needed to get through this. We needed your support, and you gave it to us. We needed your patience, and you gave it to us. And I would like to thank you for the Kirk family, because that's what they need, is your support and your prayers, and that will get us through all of this. So thank you everybody that have stepped up. We've had such a phenomenal response to this. Thank you.
They said they got over 17,000 leads, guys.
I also want to give a special thanks to the Attorney General and the Department of Justice. Their unwavering support and their commitment to justice is shown true here. And without AG Bondi and Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche and the resources they brought to bear, we would not have been able to complete our mission. And I just want to say special thanks. It's an honor to be a part of the Department of Justice.
Thank you again to our incredible law enforcement team who has worked so hard. Sheriff, I got a solid 90 minutes last night, so I'm probably the most well-rested person up here.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, I get the microphone, so
yeah, if it wasn't for the father, they wouldn't have
a moment
nothing.
just
The
to
dad
share
turned to me and
a few more thoughts about where we are and how we got here and maybe a little bit of where we go from here.
In a wooded
I
area,
don't want to get too preachy,
and
but
that was from the
I think it's
roommate
important
turned
that we, with eyes wide open, understand what's happening in our country today. I've heard people say, well, why are we so invested in this? There's violence happening all across our country, and violence is tragic everywhere. And every life taken is a child of God who deserves our love and respect and dignity. This is certainly about the tragic death, political assassination of Charlie Kirk. But it is also much bigger than an attack on an individual. It is an attack on all of us. It is an attack on the American experiment. It is an attack on our ideals. This cuts to the very foundation of who we are, of who we have been, and who we could be in better times. Political violence is different than any other type of violence for lots of different reasons. One, because in the very act that Charlie championed of expression, that freedom of expression that is enshrined in our founding documents, in having his life taken in that very act, makes it more difficult for people to feel like they can share their ideas, that they can speak freely. We will never be able to solve all the other problems, including the violence problems that people are worried about, if we can't have a clash of ideas safely and securely. Even, especially those ideas with which you disagree. That's why this matters so much. Over the last 48 hours, I have been as angry as I have ever been, as sad as I have ever been. And it was, as anger pushed me to the brink.
All right, hold on. It says authorities said they recovered a high-powered bolt-action rifle used in the shooting from a wooden area. That information was given by Tyler Robinson's roommate, guys. Make sure you're clicking those three dots, hitting that thumbs up, get the likes up, subscribe to the channel if you're new. This is the latest and breaking updates on the Charlie Kirk unaliving, guys. They have caught the suspect. He is now in custody. He was turned in by his father, guys.
It was actually Charlie's words that pulled me back. I'd like to share some of those. And specifically right now, if I could, I need to talk to the young people in our state, in my state, and all across the country. As President Trump reminded me, he said, you know who really loved Charlie? The youths. And he's right. Young people loved Charlie, and young people hated Charlie. And Charlie went into those places anyway. And these are the words that have helped me. Charlie said, when people stop talking, that's when you get violence. He said, the weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is the attribute of the strong. The only way out of the labyrinth of suffering is to forgive. welcome without judgment, love without condition, forgive without limit. He said, always forgive your enemies. Nothing annoys them so much. A few months ago, I referenced this last night, Charlie posted to social media, when things are moving very fast and people are losing their minds, it's important to stay grounded. Turn off your phone, read scripture, spend time with friends, and remember, internet fury is not real life. It's going to be okay. He again said, when you stop having a human connection with someone you disagree with, it becomes a lot easier to commit violence. He said, what we as a culture have to get back to is being able to have a reasonable agreement, where violence is not an option. Now, again, to my young friends out there, you are inheriting a country where politics feels like rage. It feels like rage is the only option. But through those words, we have a reminder that we can choose a different path. Your generation has an opportunity to build a culture that is very different than what we are suffering through right now. Not by pretending differences don't matter, but by embracing our differences and having those hard conversations. I think we need more moral clarity right now. I hear all the time that words are violence. Words are not violence. Violence is violence. And there is one person responsible for what happened here. And that person is now in custody and will be charged soon and will be held accountable. And yet all of us have an opportunity right now to do something different. I want to thank my fellow Utahns. This bad stuff happens.
Prayers for Charlie's family, guys. Prayers for the family.
For 33 hours, I was praying that if this had to happen here, that it wouldn't be one of us. That somebody drove from another state, somebody came from another country. Sadly, that prayer was not answered the way I had hoped for, just because I thought it would make it easier on us if we could just say, hey, we don't do that here. And indeed, Utah is a special place. We lead the nation in charitable giving. We lead the nation in service every year. But it did happen here. And it was one of us. But I want you to look at how Utahns reacted the last 2 nights. There was no rioting. There was no looting. There were no cars set on fire. There was no violence. There were vigils and prayers and people coming together to share the humanity. And that, ladies and gentlemen, I believe is the answer to this. We can return violence with violence. We can return hate with hate. And that's the problem with political violence, is it metastasizes, because we can always point the finger at the other side. And at some point, we have to find an off-ramp, or it's going to get much, much worse. But see, these are choices that we can make. History will dictate if this is a turning point for our country. But every single one of us gets to choose right now if this is a turning point for us. We get to make decisions. We have our agency. And I desperately call on every American, Republican, Democrat, liberal, progressive, conservative, MAGA, all of us to please, please, please follow what Charlie taught me. I'll just conclude with words I share often from a friend and author, Yuval Levin, who was asked if he was optimistic about our country. And he said, I'm not optimistic. He said, I hate optimism. Like, that sounds bad. But he said, optimism is a vice. It's this idea that good things are just going to happen. And he said, in the history of the world, good things have never just happened. He says, I'm not optimistic, but I am hopeful. And hope is the virtue that sits between the vices of optimism and pessimism. Hope is the idea that good things are going to happen because we can make them so. I still believe in our country. And I know Charlie Kirk believed in our country. I still believe that there is more good among us than evil. And I still believe that we can change the course of history. I'm hopeful because Americans can make it so. Ladies and gentlemen, we're happy to answer any questions you might have.
Governor, can you please speak to whether the suspect is speaking with authorities and his demeanor, Tyler Robinson, when he turned himself in?
I cannot speak to that right now.
Governor, how do you interpret the engravings on the case of
Well, I will leave that up to you to interpret what those engravings mean. I think the clearest one that says "catch fascist," there's not, and by the way, that's like catch like a ball, catch this. That's I think that speaks for itself.
Shout out to everybody that's subscribing to the channel. So Tyler Robinson is the accused assassinator in the Charlie Kirk situation, guys. His father turned him in. His roommate gave up evidence to the FBI to where they could find the weapon that was used. It was a high action, basically what they call it, a rifle, guys. And he hid it in the woods. His roommate led him to it. He's currently under arrest, guys. Make sure y'all take time to hit those 3 dots, hit that thumbs up, and most definitely subscribe to the channel if you're new. This is everything we know on the Charlie Kirk situation, guys.
Yes, so right now, Mr. Robinson has been booked into the Utah County Jail. You heard the president this morning report that he was taken into custody, that his family and a friend helped to deliver him into custody of law enforcement in Washington County. For those of you that don't know where Washington County is, it is the southwesternmost part of the state of Utah. It's about a 3.5 to 4 hour drive from here, where we are right now, and that's where he lived and where they turned him in. Please, go here. I can't share any more than what I've already shared. Yeah. So how we obtained the gun? The gun was found here. So I don't have much more details on that. We do know that he drove. We had his car here on campus, and then we had his car going south back to the St. George. It's actually the city of Washington in Washington County.
Is he talking with authorities and did he discuss a motive?
I'm sorry? We don't have any information that would lead us to believe that. Yes, in fact, it was just released. Yes. I can't answer that right now. Yeah, thank you. Over here. I absolutely believe that this is a watershed in American history. Yes. The question is, what kind of watershed? And that chapter remains to be written. Is this the end of a dark chapter in our history, or the beginning of a darker chapter in our history? Look, I mean, if you look at true political assassinations in this country of someone of this stature, this feels a lot like the late 60s, and having one so gruesomely displayed on camera in all of our hands and in all of our pockets. We are not wired as human beings biologically, historically. We have not evolved in a way that we are capable of processing those types of violent imagery. And by the way, we've seen another one with a gruesome stabbing very recently that went viral. This is not good for us. It is not good to consume. Social media is a cancer. on our society right now.
Wow, social media is
I would encourage people to
guys.
log off, turn off, touch grass, hug a family member, go out and do good in your community. That is happening, and it's happening organically right now. Had a friend in a small city in Utah who said, we're getting together, the Republicans and Democrats in my little...
Basically, he said social media is a cancer, guys. Make sure you go outside, get you some sunlight, interact with people in real time. Don't let social media consume you.
Again, you have to go back to JFK to have seen a video live of something like this happening. I wasn't born until 1975, but I know that things were really dark in the late 60s. Sorry to some of you. I know some of you were there. This is our moment. Do we escalate, or do we find an off-ramp? And again, it's a choice. It's a choice, and every one of us gets to make that choice. Two more questions right here.
Could we clarify that the release of those enhanced images at 8 p.m. timeline that Director Patel gave us led to the arrest at 10 p.m.? Is there a direct connection between those two events?
I cannot comment if there is a direct connection or not, but all I can say is that through some process, the family came to know that this had happened.
It was the father, guys, that turned him in.
Correct. Yes. So when he's first spotted on campus, he has different clothing on, and then he changes clothing on the roof, and then changed back into that clothing at some point, so that when he was apprehended, when he was arrested, the clothing matched the clothing he had on before the shooting here at UVU. Last question here. Yes.
Suspect was from Utah. Can you just tell us a little bit more about where was he a student here at this university, and is there any history of mental illness?
Yeah. So I don't have any information on the mental illness part. He was not a student here at UVU. He was living and had lived for a long time with his family in Washington County, in the southernmost part of our state. Thank you, everyone, for your great work in getting this information out. I would just say, process-wise, this may be important. I know many of you aren't familiar with the process in Utah. I think it's important that you understand that basically we have 3 days for charging documents to be filed. A CI will be filed. We'll have more information then, more detailed information as those charging documents are filed in preparation for a preliminary hearing. So 3 days. So we would anticipate then that early next week those charging documents will be filed. We will obviously be working. The county attorney will be working very closely with Mr. Kirk's family as those documents and decisions are prepared and made. Thanks, everyone.
Man, R.I.P. to Charlie, man. Prayers for his family. As the FBI, in Utah City officials.
So you just heard here
give
on Live Now
update
from Fox, as officials detail the arrest in the Charlie Kirk assassination. Leading up to this point, very thorough and detailed coverage from my colleague Josh Breslow, leading up to the anticipation that we were all wanting to know who is the person that was taken into custody. As we discuss the very latest, I do want to transition your screen. Take a good look. This is the latest information we have from our content partners.
Tyler Robinson,
as we are learning
this is
the suspect in custody on this Friday in connection with the assassination of Charlie Kirk is a 22-year-old from Utah. Law enforcement officials confirming that to the Associated Press. Authorities identifying the suspect as Tyler Robinson. Now, a lot to discuss, and as we continue this thorough and detailed coverage, I want to transition and bring into the conversation none other than Tim Rebele. He previously worked for the Secret Service for 22 years on the Presidential Protective Detail. Tim, a pleasure having you join us here on Live Now from Fox. Hello to you.
Hello to you. Thanks for having me.
So a lot to discuss. Tim, let's first go through the latest from that press conference. Viewers, some just might be tuning in. What do we know? We heard from FBI Director Kash Patel saying that it took the community. It was a group effort. If you see something, say something. 33 hours it took to get to this press conference.
Yeah, listening to the press conference and, following along from the time this incident happened, it was like...
I don't want to hear from him. Let's go here.
phone video, that often becomes the key, the catalyst for breaking cases like this. And again, as my colleague Captain Fowlers and I have been reporting all morning, we have independent sources confirming to us that a person of interest is in custody, and we're expecting a press conference momentarily.
Let me do this so
Aaron,
they can stop whining about my screen.
Any specifics that they can give us? President Trump was telling Fox News that the individuals, an individual close to the individual who's now in custody, perhaps the person's father, seems to have convinced the
See, it was the
suspect
father
or
that
person of
turned him
interest
in.
to turn himself in. Let's say if they say anything more about how this went down, if he was taken into custody without incident, that would be remarkable, considering the act of violence that the person may have allegedly carried out. Also, be interested to learn anything more about the person. We can report it's a college-aged individual who is now in custody
Tyler
as the
Robinson
person
is
of
his
interest
name.
in the fatal shooting of Charlie Kirk. Where did that individual go to school, if at all? What might be in the individual's background that could help establish motive? We'll see how far the authorities are willing to go.
Bring in Brad Garrett, ABC News contributor and former FBI as well. Brad, what sticks out to you as you're listening to this information unfolding about a person of interest in custody after the release of this video and these images yesterday and last night?
So if you combine the following, a high-profile
This
case,
is Tyler Robinson. That's his name.
an extremely
This is the
heinous
person that
violent
took
act,
out Charlie
and
Kirk.
great or reasonably great video surveillance of somebody tends to get them caught. Even somebody that knows him, maybe even a relative, could have turned him in, and maybe that's what happened. I have no idea.
That's how you escape, guys.
You're also getting caught unless you have a really good exit plan. And I can tell by him coming off the roof with a weapon, running across, then apparently dumping the weapon in the woods, is he went there on a mission. But that's really all he may have thought about. And then it's just panic from that point forward until he apparently now has gotten caught.
Pierre, how do they go about now trying to assure that they have the right person here and trying to build a case if they do?
Well, this is the part that the FBI and law enforcement is perhaps best at. If you have a person of interest now, you have the weapon. They, again, are poring over that weapon. They have sent it to Quantico to look for late fingerprints. They have additional cartridges that they're going to look at. And basically, Diane, they are about to vacuum clean this person's life. Everything that's been posted, interviewing friends, they'll be able to come up with a detailed timeline of what that person was doing that day. They're going to talk to family members. Obviously, the family member that apparently convinced him, according to President Trump, to turn himself in will be key. And again, if this story is unfolding as laid out by the president, you have the person walking in and saying, it's me. And again, we have sourcing that of a name of a person that we knew law enforcement was locking in on last night. Again, we're not pointing out the specifics of that name until we have official confirmation. But right now, this investigation will go into another level of focusing on who this person is, where he's been, who he's been communicating
Tyler
with,
Robinson
and
is his
trying
name.
to get at if they can confirm that this is the person that pulled the trigger. What was the motive?
And I want to bring in ABC's contributor and former FBI agent Richard Frankel as well. Richard, based on what we know so far, how do you think the FBI moves forward here? Looks like we might not have Richard just yet. Brad, I'll send the same question over to you. What do you think?
You're asking me?
Is that Richard?
Yeah, sorry
okay,
about
Richard,
that.
go ahead.
I couldn't hear you for a second. Yeah, so what we have right now is, this is the beginning of the investigation, the real part of the investigation. And in other words, now they've actually got to go back and prove that this guy actually did do the shooting. Even though we all believe that he is in fact the shooter based upon what the president has said, you still have to be able to go prove that in court. So just because somebody has admitted to it, that doesn't stop the investigation. They're going to go now back, and if he's speaking, they're going to corroborate everything that he's saying. But they're going to be taking his prints. They're going to be taking the shoes because we have the shoe print. They're going to be going back through his life. And as Pierre said, this is going to basically be a vacuum cleaner of his entire life and everything he's done, over the last weeks or maybe even months to see what led up to this. Also, they're going to look to see if he did get any assistance. Just because he came in and, raised his hand and said, I did it, doesn't mean that he didn't get help from somebody. Did he get knowing help, or did he get...
That was a long way down, guys.
In other words, did somebody sell him a weapon and didn't realize that they were selling him the weapon to be used in this assassination? Why did he pick Charlie Kirk? Is it something that he did on his own? Or, again, is it something that a group or a belief system drove him to this? So they're going to be looking into all that.
Brett, in this case, this was someone shot in front of thousands of people. Does that change anything as far as the investigation is concerned when you have that many witnesses to a crime like this?
Well, it becomes overwhelming and obviously chaotic because you had people, and rightly so, running from the scene. And I'm sure they've located a number of them. There's a number you can call. But, it creates a real issue. But, they're not going to be able to help you other than that they see someone shot. Now, was there somebody around this building he was on? Did someone see him jump off and run? You definitely want to find that person if, in fact, they exist. Because this is really all about the, MO, motivation, ideology, all of those things are important, but they don't matter on the front end. What matters on the front end is, can you tie him to the shooting and to that weapon?
That's
and
crazy,
so this is about forensics, and it's about interviewing skills, assuming he's willing to talk. And it's those two things that will pull you together to have potentially a prosecutable case.
And Brad, what do you make of the timing, how long it took to make this arrest?
A lot of people don't even know what they might have on their phone or what that phone may have picked up. So each one of those 11,000 leads are going to have to be run out.
11,000 leads, guys.
But you can't
they have
let that
arrested
slip through the cracks,
the shooter
so that
in
one
the
piece
Charlie
of the
Kirk
one piece
case,
of the puzzle,
guys.
that we might miss if we don't run something out.
Tyler
will slip through
Robinson,
our hands. So they've got to be
22
all
years old.
tested, tried, make sure that they're accurate, make sure that they seize the evidence and package it properly. And the other good aspect of this investigation is we have the suspect alive, and hopefully he's going to want to cooperate with authorities and talk a little bit about what was going on in his life. Drug and alcohol problems, mental health. Did he lose his job recently? Did he break up with his significant other? What's been going on, and why did other people maybe miss some signals here that he was going to go effectuate this nefarious activity?
Right. Still a lot of questions. And before we dive into what else we do know, recapping what else we learned in the news conference, can you just speak to the importance of the public's help here? That's a lot of tips that did come in.
Sure. Look, a criminal investigation is conducted in this fashion by a lot of professionals, but it's okay to get lucky. It's okay to get some information, again, as I said, from somebody who may not know they have any information. Somebody may have seen that picture yesterday and said, hey, that's whoever, or gee, that looks like whoever. And that can send us in a direction to then get other pieces of the puzzle to then zero in on that individual and effectuate an arrest. The fact that his father, I believe I've heard reported, is a 27-year veteran of a sheriff's department out there. Wow. What is he going through with respect to his son's alleged activity?
Let's get a word from
and
Trump.
The fact that he had to dig deep and get some intestinal fortitude to help deliver his son to the potential administration of justice here. Tough day for everybody.
Right, and let's
to be
go
with Charlie
over
Kirk's
this
family
timeline
and to
again,
get the
Bobby,
body
and I do
back
have this
to
up
his hometown in Arizona. And you said you were going to award him the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which is very nice of you. Any updates on this suspect?
Yeah, can I always say, I think, just to protect us all, and so Fox doesn't get sued, and we all don't get sued, and everything else, but I think with a high degree of certainty, we have him in custody, okay? in custody. Everyone did a great job. We worked with the local police, the governor. Everybody did a great job. Getting somebody that you start off with absolutely nothing. And we started off with a clip that made him look like an ant. That was almost useless. We just saw there was somebody up there. And so much work has been done over the last 2.5 days. It's amazing, actually, when you start off with that and then all of a sudden you get lucky or talent or whatever it is. But I think we're in great shape.
Mr. President,
he's in custody.
Your suspicion was that he was radical left, and now you have more information. What can you share with us about his ideology?
Yeah, Lawrence, let me and by the way, Lawrence is doing a good job. What's going on here?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I'm very proud of you.
This is President Trump announcing about the suspect.
I think that I don't want to go too far. I'd like to tell you some stories at how it happened, but essentially somebody that was very close to him turned him in.
His father.
And that happens when you had some of those good shots. Somebody is going to say, whether it's a parent or whatever, I'd rather not say right now. They're going to announce it today, sometime later, probably talk about that. But somebody close to him turned him in. They said, whoa, it's interesting. We had very good pictures, but not great, not perfect. And when you look at it, what happened is somebody, and this happens a lot. It happened with the crazy Boston bomber. It happened with others. Somebody that's close recognizes even a little tilt of the head, which nobody else would do. And somebody that was very close to him said, that's him. And essentially went to the father, went to a U.S. Marshal, who was fantastic, by the way. And the person was involved with law enforcement, but was a person of faith, a minister. And they brought him to a U.S. Marshal who was fantastic. And the father convinced the son, this is it. And again, I'm always subject to be corrected, but I'm just giving you, based on what I'm hearing, they'll give you a much more active. I just heard about it 5 minutes before I walked in. As I'm walking in, they said, looking real good. They have the person that they wanted. So you have breaking news, don't you? Huh?
Thank you.
You always have breaking news, Ainsley.
Right.
Sean's going to be very disappointed that we're not doing it in his show.
He'll be very thankful and appreciative of the police officers that got this
I
guy.
think they did a great job. Everybody worked together. Pam Bondi is incredible, by the way. People don't know what a star she is. She's incredible. And it all worked out.
Can I ask you just some clarification? So a pastor was able to turn him in, or they got the family of the shooter to turn them in?
Well, it was a minister, and the minister went to a minister who was involved with law enforcement, by the way. And his good friend is a top U.S. Marshal, and they took it from there. And then it was a father got involved, namely his father, and said, we got to go in. And so I understand it. And again, subject to change, but the facts are the facts. We have the person that we think is the person we're looking for. But they drove into the police headquarters, and he's there now.
Did the father know about what the son had done?
I don't know. I'm going to let you get all those questions later, because I can't tell you how accurate. The bottom line is they have somebody that they think did it.
I'm Steve Ducey. I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I mean, it's like...
Yeah, they most definitely said that the father turned them in, guys. Let's go here.
Going to negate what happened on top of that.
That was Trump.
Under that.
This is the memorial they have started for Charlie Kirk.
Wrapping up here, I have two more questions for you.
Guys.
One of them being, there's still no motive here. We do know that there was that political messaging that was found. However, given the fast-paced nature of this, I know we touched on this a little bit. How quickly do we think we can get a motive, and how much is that dependent on Robinson cooperating with officials?
Yeah, I think they're going to take all of those markings and things that were on the cartridges and on the weapon potentially and put those together. And I think they're going to have the opportunity to talk to him and have the opportunity to cooperate in this investigation. And it may behoove him, for the way that the state there moves forward with the prosecution, on his level of cooperation. He probably has a chance here to be interviewed and to lay out what his plans were and how he did it and why he did it, and potentially help himself down the road in a sense.
Prayers for Charlie's family, guys.
For
Prayers for
cooperation
the
with
family.
the state of Utah. So it'll be interesting to see how we get.
Make sure y'all click those 3 dots, hit that thumbs up, man. Subscribe to the channel if you new. This is everything that they're putting out about Charlie Kirk and his alleged person who took him out the game. Dang, I forgot that boy name already that fast, and I done said it about 30 times. Robinson was the one that did it, guys. Tyler Robinson, there you go.
Robinson had ever sat down across from Charlie, the great debater, the man of faith and grace he was, Tyler wouldn't have pulled the trigger. And so many questions, Bobby, surrounding where does the country go from here? What needs to happen? We do know Governor Cox was saying here that we are at a crossroads. Are we going to continue this violence, or are we going to come together as a nation?
Not.
And
I don't do any kind of narcotics, ma'am.
Given your time being in the Secret Service and spending all those years there, watching, I guess, how the country has transformed, what do you think needs to happen? What message would you share with our viewers?
Well, as I've said to you and your colleagues previously, I'm not a political scientist, but look, politicians on both sides of the aisle need to get their act together. We need to be talking about the hard issues that are going on.
How many of y'all out there seen them putting up the pictures of the guys standing behind Charlie Kirk, giving those hand signals? How many of y'all out there believe that this probably or may have been an inside job? Because that's what they were alluding to. They were saying that these guys were standing behind Charlie, giving hand signals, basically alerting the shooter when it was time to shoot, guys. How many of y'all out there believe it? Do y'all think that this could have possibly been an inside job, man? I'm just saying. I'm saying allegedly, but that's what has been going across social media. They have been showing pictures of 2 guys, one in a white hat, basically doing hand gestures right before Charlie got shot, guys. Do y'all think this could have been an inside thing?
To argue issues, not argue with people, but argue the issues that are controversial. That's what we want people. And more importantly, our college students at my university, we want them talking about hard things. We want to have hard discussions, but we also want to learn how to argue with each other, to argue about the topic and not argue with the person.
Bobby McDonald, I'm sure we'll have you on again as all of this does continue to unfold. Thank you so much for joining us. As always, we appreciate it.
Always great to be with you. See you next time.
And you are taking a live look there right now. This is outside the Utah County Jail, where we do know that Robinson is in custody at this point. Again, 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, and that is one of those live looks that we are getting in here. And if you are just joining us, this is the other live look I have been sharing here, as we do know this is outside of the Turning Point USA headquarters in Phoenix, Arizona. We're stepping away for a break. Much more to come on Live Now from Fox.
That's crazy, y'all. Wow, we ain't going to take no break. We're going to move right along here. Let's go here. Oh, everybody's on break. We're not taking a break. Let me turn this music off. Let me go on. Let's move right along here, guys. Hold up. Let's see if anybody else is talking about what's going on. If we can get any up-to-date things going on. Oh my goodness. Let's go here.
And if you are just joining us, we heard from Lindsay Regis, who is there right now, and she said about 200 to 300 people have showed up, and they're on the left there.
So they have delivered Charlie Kirk's body, guys, to Arizona.
We're not sure just yet. There's Erica Kirk, the blonde, right there, with the sunglasses coming off the plane. Behind her are the Vances right there. The second lady and the vice president behind.
Yeah, President Trump today said that she is just devastated by all this, and rightfully so. These kids will not know their father.
President Trump did say that he had heard that the funeral will likely happen in about a week or so, probably the next weekend.
And probably here.
And probably here is what he said. Again, just what he said.
Whoever said that, it doesn't matter. It didn't happen. That we're looking at it on my show. Wherever else you seen it at, good for you.
Anything, we'll pass that on to you.
Yeah, I think, we talked about the horror of seeing this on social media. To see someone's life taken so violently on camera and seeing that, I think it shook a lot of people to see that image.
Yeah, and it spread quickly, and it was not censored either.
No.
And
this is the world we're living in.
And that's the world we're living in now, John. That is the world that we are living in.
I mean, it took years, literally, to finally the public to see the Zapruder film of John Kennedy's assassination. While not as graphic, this was equally violent yesterday, and we saw it within minutes.
Yeah, and with wherever Charlie Kirk goes, honestly, where any person goes now, if they are speaking at an event, whether they are an activist, whether they are an elected official, everyone has a phone now, and everyone is recording. And so that is why we're seeing this video is out there. And it's unfortunate because the video is out there.
My sense is that maybe Charlie Kirk's casket is going to come out of that door.
It seems like they're trying to coordinate it right now.
Yeah. And maybe Erica, it's hard to know, his wife did not want his casket placed in the cargo hold out of respect.
Correct.
To put him in the airplane and ride along with him on the way home. We will see if that's how this all unfolds.
Yeah.
You talked about the cameras, and this has materially changed these investigations now into whoever did this.
To try to find the person.
That investigation is ongoing. We're actually expecting a press conference sometime this evening. Kash Patel, the FBI director, Dan Bundy.
Any loss of human life is always sad, guys. Prayers for his children and his family, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Prayers for Charlie Kirk's children and family, y'all. It's crazy, man. Such a sad situation. Make sure you double tap that screen or click those 3 dots, hit that thumbs up, and absolutely subscribe to the channel if you are new, guys.
Cameras at the school that looks like that is kind of where these 2 photos have surfaced from. This person of interest that they're looking for wearing a t-shirt and a hat, or video cameras or cell phone cameras that have captured this person running from the scene.
Ring doorbell cameras.
Ring doorbell cameras, yeah. And then also there were surveillance cameras in a wooded area and also in a neighborhood nearby the school where family members have said, we think we got the guy running through our neighborhood. They also have video of that too. I mean, it's like wherever you go, you are going to be caught on video somewhere, typically. And then if you're at an event with thousands of people, everyone has a phone.
Yeah, I think we've got an honor guard here. I think Charlie Kirk's body casket will come out of that door shortly.
And we know that a number of the Turning Point team members are also on the plane here as well. So I'm wondering if they might be helping with the casket too, which that's
serving almost as pallbearers.
Correct. Yeah. Correct. Yeah. And they were with the Turning Point team. They were there. Let's go. Let's see here. Yeah.
Yeah. I think
this is the casket that's coming out. Not the Turning Point members.
Draped in the American flag. Is it? I'm not sure.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
That is Air Force, though, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah.
I could not see from our image if the flag was on that casket. That would be reserved primarily for elected leaders. Charlie Kirk was not. That's what made this a little different somebody who was not elected to high office, taken out in an assassination. That's what the FBI is calling it. That's what Utah officials are calling it. And somebody targeted who's not an elected official. I mean, we've seen it in American history, certainly. Martin Luther King certainly comes to mind.
Yeah, a political activist.
A political
a very
voice.
outspoken
Yes.
political activist. Yes. And, you know, we spoke with a former Secret Service agent who has protected President Trump, President Bush, actually the entire Bush family, and he talked about the difficulties.
So Charlie's body has been returned to Arizona, guys. J.D. Vance went with the body and is now currently in Arizona, man. Prayers for Charlie's family, guys.
The Secret Service protection because by law they do, and you know Charlie Kirk did not.
Yeah.
He had 6 police officers and he also had his security team, but he did not have Secret Service and whatnot because he was not an elected official.
Nobody there to sweep rooftops.
And then you also had just the difficulty of an outdoor venue of trying to manage that. And he talked about that. That was very, very difficult to keep an area like that secure.
Especially from 200 yards.
Right.
There was no one there to sweep that building.
No.
And not like you would have with Secret Service, even though Secret Service failed in Butler, Pennsylvania, in the attempt on President Trump's life. Nonetheless, you just would not think, I think most people would not think Charlie Kirk would necessarily be the target of this.
Right. Yeah, and it happened just over 24 hours ago when, you know, you got word that he had been shot, and then shortly after that he had died.
We're in the 5 o'clock hour now. Charlie Kirk is back home in Phoenix. We believe, at least the president has hinted, that he will have a funeral next weekend.
In the Phoenix area, correct, right.
And that President Trump will attend. So if that goes as planned, we will probably have a presidential visit in our future.
And we just witnessed, if you're just joining us, we just witnessed Erica Kirk, his wife, walk off Air Force 2. She was holding hands with Usha Vance, the second lady, and then Vice President J.D. Vance walking behind the 2 women off of the plane down the stairway. And then we know that about 200 to 300 people have showed up at Sky Harbor Airport to pay.
So sad, guys. So very sad. So Charlie body has also made it to Arizona, you know, and today we find out that his suspect has been captured, guys.
Short time ago earlier this morning as he did appear on Fox and Friends. Now, as we've been sharing here, there's been a lot of reaction coming into our newsroom from people, officials, and everyone taking to social media. So what I wanted to do here as I give you this live look once again in Phoenix, Arizona here, as you can see that memorial being set up outside the Turning Point USA headquarters with balloons. And that sign there honoring Charlie Kirk. I did want to just play some reaction here that we have from people who are speaking out after this has all occurred. So let's head over there and let's listen in.
We've been well, I listen to it from time to time, and unfortunately I saw the footage of him being shot, and you know, you always pray for those things there's things that you wish you didn't see.
My guy, you better be careful. ICE liable to run up on you and ask you for your papers.
and
Ain't that something, y'all?
Really, his platform was for free speech, for whether we agree or not agree, or whether we like it or not like it, to be able to say it, to be able to express our opinion and our view, regardless of other, you know.
Felicia,
that's why we live in this great country.
I was being funny. I was just being funny, man. I'm sorry.
To voice out our opinions, our views, and that seems to be silencing him seems to be the predominant theme. I really can't talk right now. I'm just grief-stricken.
My bad, not funny. My bad, y'all. My bad.
Broken that brother.
I'm black. They liable to ask me for some papers too. Don't be offended, man. They liable to run up on me and say, "Hey, you got all of your papers." Hey, man, look. I'm just saying, I'm black. Don't start tripping.
Really going through. But first and foremost, he was a man of faith. And if any Christian is wondering why, I just encourage them to read Psalms 13. Because just as David was asking God why, he was in deep anguish, he trusted God in the end. And that's all we can do right now, and that's what God expects of us.
Man, where is that music coming from? We don't play music, not on this channel. I'm not familiar with that song. I don't know where the music is coming from. Turn the music off. Yeah, man, for real. I don't know why I don't know what's going on with the music. Where did they get music from? They got a portable boom box or something?
I think that Charlie Kirk wasn't doing the right.
Or is they playing that in the church or something? Are they at the church? I don't know what's going on. I would like to hear what they have to say, but I most definitely don't want to hear the music. So, yeah, man, the music is distracting. Yeah, man, we ain't playing no music, sir, no music. Sad situation though, man. They have found the unaliver of Charlie Kirk. His name is Tyler Robinson, guys. Shout out to So Blessed for that $20. Thank you very much for showing love to the channel. I most definitely appreciate that. Shout out to that 20 piece. I most definitely appreciate it. Let's see if they turned off the good angel music.
To make it a person's demise.
They have not turned off the good angel music, guys. We're just waiting on them to stop the music. What's going on?
Should propel you.
Oh, whatever it be, we love thee. Oh,
see their demise.
No, man. What is going on, man? Stop the music. Oh my goodness, man. They trying to give me a copyright. We ain't doing that. Yeah, but man, Tyler Robinson, 22 years old, turned in by his father. Basically turned in by his roommate as well. As far as where to find the weapon, the FBI found it in the wooded area, guys. Charlie Kirk's body has been returned to Arizona for a proper burial. Man, this is a very sad situation. Whether you like the guy, didn't like the guy, Charlie Kirk, man, it's most definitely a sad thing, and most definitely prayers for his family. Anytime you lose somebody, it's sad, man. I'm just saying, love him or hate him. At the same time, the man lost his life in a tragic event, and it's most definitely sad, man. Prayers go up for Charlie, man. Lord, have mercy, turn this music off. Yeah, y'all. Wow. Says that the Tyler Robinson dude sniped him from 200 feet away from on top of a building, y'all. Wow, these days and times, man, you gotta keep your head on the swivel, man. You never know what's gonna happen. It's things that are going on in the news every day, man. That is just crazy, y'all. Make me say, wow.
To the loss of Charlie Kirk, as you are taking that live look there right now at the Utah County Jail, where we do know 22-year-old Tyler Robinson is now in custody. We wanted to head out live to Fox News' Connor Hansen. He is outside Utah Valley University this morning. Good morning to you, Connor.
What's up, Rick?
Christy, good morning. Just less than 2 days after Charlie Kirk was fatally shot, investigators found the suspect living with his family hours away from here. Now they're thanking the family of the victim for helping in his arrest.
Which is the father who turned him in, guys.
In 33 hours, we have made historic progress for Charlie.
33
The manhunt for conservative activist Charlie Kirk's alleged killer ending Thursday night when a suspect was turned into police near St. George, Utah.
On the evening of September 11th, a family member of Tyler Robinson reached out to a family friend who contacted the Washington County Sheriff's Office with information that Robinson had confessed to them or implied that he had committed the incident.
President Trump telling Fox News a minister identified the person seen in these photos and contacted a U.S. Marshal. That ultimately led to the suspect's...
A minister, a person of the church turned him in, guys. Wow. But his father, you know, basically confirmed his father is the one that turned him in. His father may be the minister.
Bring an end to the search. Yesterday, the FBI released a video of the man they believe shot Kirk sprinting across the rooftop before dropping to the ground and leaving campus. The weapon used, a bolt-action rifle, was later recovered in the woods nearby.
Inscriptions on a fired casing read, "Notices bulges, capital OWO, what's this question mark?" Inscriptions on the 3 unfired casings read, "Hey fascist, exclamation point, catch."
And officials say a family member of Tyler Robinson told them that he had been getting more political lately, and at a dinner recently expressed his dislike for Charlie Kirk and mentioning that he knew Kirk would be here on campus holding an event.
So this is premeditated, guys.
Connor Hansen, Fox News, thank you so much for joining us. We'll check in with you throughout the day here. I also wanted to share this post here with you. This is coming in from Matt Finn with Fox News Channel, as well as we are learning the parents' home of alleged Charlie Kirk assassin Tyler Robinson, St. George, Utah, being protected by police. Gray Dodge Challenger out front. Authorities say Robinson drove a gray Challenger to and from the university when he shot Charlie Kirk. Robinson surrendered not far from his home in Washington County. That's according to police. If you are just joining us here on Live Now from Fox for our coverage, my name is Christy Matino.
Yep, and we know that they have a 3-year-old daughter, a 1-year-old son. We've never known their names. We've never seen their faces on social media anyway, and the Kirks have been very open about keeping that private. They don't want to reveal the children's names or their faces on social media. They feel like it's something they want to keep close to them for security reasons.
Smart move.
Yeah. And I think, so we don't know where the body is going now just yet. We haven't gotten official word what funeral home he will be taken to. That would be the next step, logical step anyway. And we have not been given that information. So that is something that we will, hope to learn. But we just don't know. So, and there is the casket being lowered right now into, we assume that it will be lowered into a hearse.
Into a hearse, yeah.
Can we go to Lindsay Regas at all? Is Lindsay available to kind of give us some information about what's going on? Lindsay, is there a hearse there to take Charlie Kirk's casket somewhere? What are you seeing right now?
Yeah, John and Ellen, we saw a hearse hours ago. We expect that hearse to come out of the gates right in front of Air Force 2. Unfortunately, this bus is blocking where that hearse, we believe that hearse will come out of. But if my photographer pans to our left, you could see about 8 motorcycles ready to go. So we do believe they will come out this way. We have another photographer here, Rick, who will have another angle of that. And then a third photographer who will follow that hearse.
Lindsay, can we possibly swing the camera to the group of people who were there to welcome Charlie Kirk's body back home?
Hold on, let me see if I can clear this up real quick. It's looking real crazy. Hold up, y'all. I'm finna clear it up. Hold on. There we go. Let's go.
If we can take Rick's shot, we can show you what that looks like because he's actually right next to them. We have about 12. Okay, great. We have about 12 camera crews to our left, so that's all you would see if we turned our camera. But there is a large gathering here. They started gathering here, I would say, 3 hours ago. Everyone has their phones up. You can see flags here, and we spoke to them a few hours ago, and we'll speak to them again once the hearse passes. And we heard that sound earlier today in our newscast.
Lindsay, J.D. Vance helped join the group of uniformed service members to to bring Charlie Kirk's body home. What is the sense out there? What's the emotion from the people there on the ground?
Sadness, quiet. That's how it's been all day, especially when Air Force 2 came down. You could hear a little bit of chatter, but right when it landed, just silence. People are heartbroken. We were at Turning Point USA, the headquarters last night, crying, bringing their family members, so many flowers, candles, balloons, so many people coming out to show their support. Can't believe this happened. A lot of ASU students also showed up there, and they came ever since the news broke. We were out there until around 10:15. People were still coming, dropping off those flowers and looking at the signs that were recently put up outside the headquarters.
Do we know where Charlie Kirk's wife is right now? Is she in a car that will carry the body?
I am going to assume that is what is going to happen in just a few minutes. I don't have eyes on her right now. Once she walked down the stairs, we really don't have any visibility. You see the gates, you see buses, and they're behind all of that, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know that they obviously want to keep kind of, we actually heard too that there were some sweeps happening for security reasons at the Turning Point headquarters, just based on kind of what's been going on, kind of the temperature just happening right now across the...
Yeah, that's what's going on with Charlie's body in Arizona. They back from break. Let's get over it.
They talked about why they didn't like him and the viewpoints that he had. The family member also stated Kirk was full of hate and spreading hate. The family member also confirmed Robinson had a gray Dodge Challenger. Investigators identified an individual as the roommate of Robinson. Investigators interviewed that roommate, who stated that his roommate, referring to Robinson, made a joke on Discord. Investigators asked if he would show them the messages on Discord. He opened it and showed several messages to investigators and allowed investigators to take photos of the screen as each message was shown by Robinson's roommate. These photos consisted of various messages, including content of messages between the phone contact named Tyler with an emoji icon and Robinson's roommate's device. The content of these messages included messages affiliated with the contact Tyler, stating a need to retrieve a rifle from a drop point, leaving the rifle in a bush, messages related to visually watching the area where a rifle was left, and a message referring to having left the rifle wrapped in a towel. The messages also refer to engraving bullets and a mention of a scope and the rifle being unique. Messages from the contact Tyler also mentioned that he had changed outfits. I know there's been speculation as well as to the writing on those casings, those bullet casings, and I believe we have that as well. And I will share that with you now. So the area north of Campus Drive Road where the suspect crossed over, you saw some of that in the video that we released last night, consists of a grassy area with trees on the edge of the UVU campus. Investigators discovered a bolt-action rifle wrapped in a dark-colored towel. The rifle was determined to be a Mauser Model 98 30-06 caliber bolt-action rifle. The rifle had a scope mounted on top of it. Investigators noted inscriptions that had been engraved on casings found with the rifle. Inscriptions on a fired casing read, "Notices bulges, capital OWO, what's this, question mark." Inscriptions on the 3 unfired casings read, "Hey fascist, exclamation point, catch, exclamation point." Up arrow symbol, right arrow, and symbol, and 3 down arrow symbols. A second unfired casing read, "Oh Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Chow Chow."
So he was writing on the bullets,
unfired
guys.
casing read, "If you read this, you are gay, LMAO."
Wow.
We are indebted to law enforcement across the state who's worked seamlessly together, local law enforcement, state law enforcement, and our federal partners with the Federal Bureau of Investigation. We're grateful for everyone who worked together in such a short amount of time to find this person and to bring justice. I want to thank the public who has been so engaged, reviewing videos, helping us with sending in tips, and helping us get to this point. I want to thank the family members of Tyler Robinson who did the right thing in this case and were able to bring him into to law enforcement as well. I especially want to thank the family of Charlie Kirk, Erica, Charlie's parents, his children. I want us to be thinking of them as we bring justice in this case. They will be involved in that justice. We will be working very closely with them as we move through this process as well. This is a very sad day for our country, a terrible day for the state of Utah, but I'm grateful that at this moment we have an opportunity to bring closure to this very dark chapter in our nation's history. With that, I will now turn the microphone over to the Director of the FBI, Kash Patel.
Thank you, Governor. This is what happens when you let good cops be cops.
Let me do this real quick.
The FBI and our partners are proud to stand here today together to bring justice to the family of Charlie Kirk and honor his memory. I want to express my deep gratitude to President Trump, the Vice President, and the entire White House who have been so incredibly supportive with both resources and just personally to the FBI as a team. They had our backs the entire way, and I just want to express my gratitude for giving us the resources we need to operate in this space to bring this sort of justice at this sort of speed. In 33 hours, we have made historic progress for Charlie. Governor Cox, our partnership has been absolutely incredible these last few days. Our partnership will endure. Your state and local partners, your sheriffs, your DPS community has been unbelievably impressive in the hardest of times. And a case like this cannot be solved, cannot be brought without partnering with your state and local authorities. The FBI has a certain role to play, and we will play that role, and we will lead out for the federal government. But Governor Cox, we are so grateful for your state partnership that led out on this investigation. A little bit of the timeline. Charlie was shot at 12:23 p.m. on Wednesday. The first FBI agents arrived on scene in 16 minutes with chiefs of police at 12:39 and secured the scene. The FBI immediately launched fixed-wing assets. We utilized these assets to transport personnel, specialty technicians, hostage rescue teams. We also utilized these assets to go back and forth from the East Coast and here in Utah to transport forensic evidence and other evidence that will be analyzed and is being analyzed at our FBI laboratories in Quantico and other laboratories, including the ATF. At my direction, the FBI released the first set of FBI photos of the suspect at 10 a.m. local time on 9/11. Then, shortly thereafter, the FBI reward of $100,000 was released at 10:45 a.m. local. Myself and Deputy Director Bongino arrived on the scene at approximately 5:30 p.m. on 9/11. The governor led a press conference last night at approximately 8 p.m., where at my direction, the FBI released a never-before-seen video of the suspect. We also released new images to the public of the suspect. And just last night, the suspect was taken into custody at 10 p.m. local time. In less than 36 hours, 33 to be precise.
I see it's a lot of y'all in this chat that did not like Charlie Kirk,
and leading out with the partners here in the state of Utah and Governor Cox, the suspect was apprehended in a historic time period. And I want to highlight what Governor Cox said. This would not have been possible without you, the media, and you, the public. That's why we went so public, so fast, and we're so transparent, and we're committed to that transparency. The crime scene, just a little bit there. It is a large crime scene. State and local authorities, along with federal authorities, processed that crime scene quickly. And I even had the ability to walk through that crime scene and walk through the steps the suspect took to learn more about what was needed and what resources we needed to bear to create a full picture for the FBI and leadership back in Washington. Furthermore, thankfully to state and local partners, forensic evidence has been seized and continues to be garnered. Forensic evidence has already been evaluated at FBI laboratories in Quantico and state and local authorities here. We will continue to process evidence as we see it, as we collect it, and we will continue to deliver it to Governor Cox and his team. Last night, we had a total of approximately 7,000 leads. As of this morning, thanks to your great work, we have over 11,000 leads that were called in to the FBI. And we are running out every single lead that we can. Every one of those leads will be run out. The arrest is a testament to the dedication of good law enforcement being great, and partnerships in law enforcement, which I've tried to highlight as my tenure as the director of the FBI. There is no better relationship for law enforcement than the FBI to partner with state and local authorities, and you've seen it here in these last few days. The FBI Salt Lake Field Office, along with our offices in LA, Phoenix, Denver, San Antonio, Las Vegas, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, our headquarters component in Quantico, all participate in the FBI. I want to express my deep gratitude to the employees of the FBI, the men and women, the evidence response team tacticians, the special operators, the agents, the support staff. You have done monumental work in historic time when the public, who had a right to demand such an expeditious solving of an investigation, the FBI answered that call diligently, critically important to our nation, and we delivered. And I'm proud to be their leader, and I'm proud to be the director of the FBI. This is a very much an ongoing investigation, as the governor said, and we will continue to work with state and local authorities to develop the investigation, to provide them the evidence they need for their ongoing prosecutions, and we will be here to answer every call they absolutely have, as long as it takes, for as long as we need to find and apprehend whatever suspects were involved in this crime.
It's crazy, y'all.
Lastly,
such a sad situation.
To my friend Charlie Kirk, rest now, brother. We have the watch, and I'll see you in Valhalla.
FBI Director Kash Patel there. This was a news conference a little bit earlier this morning, and we're going to head back to that, play out the rest for you. I did just want to share with you, though, this post we were getting in from social media from Turning Point USA. This is posted to their X account. Let's read it to you in full. It says, "We can confirm that the individual responsible for the murder of Charlie Kirk is now in custody. We are profoundly grateful to the men and women of law enforcement who worked with such urgency, dedication, and courage to bring this person to justice. Their commitment has brought an important step toward closure in this incredibly painful time. Please continue to keep Erica, the Kirk family, and our entire Turning Point community in your prayers." So once again, this post just put out on social media from Turning Point USA. We've been bringing you these reactions in here on social media to this news here throughout the day. We're going to step away for a quick break. When we come back, we're going to finish out that press conference. My name is Christy Mattino. We're back.
All right, guys, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, they're having they got like a memorial set up for Charlie, basically at the Turning Point in Arizona. This is live coverage of his memorial site, guys, where people are standing there admiring the flowers and the cards and the balloons and, you know, all of that, man. It's crazy, man. This is a sad situation. I see that a lot of y'all in my comment section don't like Charlie. You know, y'all down there acting a fool, saying, why should anyone care, you know, basically about what happened to him? You know, well, at the end of the day, man, he is a human being. He most definitely left behind a wife, a child or some children, you know, and it's sad anytime anything, you know, happens to someone, man. That's why, you know, so prayers up for his family, man. That's how I feel about it. You know, if not so much for him, for the loved ones he leaves behind, guys. You know, that's how I feel. That's crazy, man. Wow. One day you here, the next day you gone. Can happen to anyone at any given time, man. It's just sad, man. It's just sad. That's all I can say. That's why I keep on saying it. A loss of life is always sad, guys. But hey, I brought y'all pretty much everything I could. You know, the father basically was the one that turned him in. His friend kind of pointed police in the right direction as far as where to find the weapon and things that Charlie has been posting to social media. I mean that dang, why I keep on calling that boy Charlie. You know what I'm saying? Robinson, Tyreek Robinson, you know what he had been posting to social media. He was 22 years old. Kirk was 31 years old, man. And it's just crazy, man. They had arrested that man yesterday, the older man. They were saying that he was saying, and I'll do it again. I'll do it again. I don't know if he was basically like distracting so that the other guy could get away. You know, I don't know what he was doing, you know, but I come to find out that's why he got arrested and then released. But yeah, man, I guess as more details emerge, guys, I will most definitely keep y'all posted. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new over here. Make sure you double tapping that screen to hit that like button if you have not, or you can click those 3 dots and hit that thumbs up, man. I hope y'all enjoyed the show. RIP to Charlie Kirk, man. You know, gone too soon. Some of y'all said gone not fast enough. I see that it's a lot of people in here that feel a certain type of way about Charlie Kirk, man. It's crazy, man. It's crazy, y'all. Wow, man. But all I'm going to say is prayers for his family, y'all. And with that being said, it's time for me to make my grand exit. You know, shout out to my moderators. Shout out to all the subscribers, the new ones as well as the old one. I most definitely keep y'all on everything, posted on everything I run across, man. This is Everything News. I most definitely always been bringing the news you can use. So until next time, y'all stay safe. And with that being said, y'all know what time it is. Sidewalk Gang, checking out. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Y'all be good. I'm gone.